Good evening, fight fans. The Ranch Podcast is back, and with us again is our resident expert, Brian Battaglia. Hey, Brian, how's it going?
Pleasure to be back on our segundo asalto, as it would be
Th-
said in Spanish.
that is, yeah, our second episode. For all you bilinguals out there, we have Brian here who's busting out the Spanish, and to this on this episode, we'll be going over Canelo versus Crawford from Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, and a few of the undercards. So let's get right to it. Brian, Crawford came to work. He's like Kumo D.
I would say great event, mediocre fight. Kudos to Crawford. Took it as we kind of expected with a tepid fight between the both of them, but prevailed in the end. Did what most people thought he could not do.
Right. So Crawford comes through with a unanimous decision. Some people would say it was lopsided. Some people saying it was a little bit closer to that. Everyone has their opinions, but the right person did win the match. Would you agree?
I would concur. The thought online that Crawford dominated was a little bit excessive to me. He won, but he didn't dominate. The fact that Canelo did less looked like Crawford did more.
So you're saying it was more of a case of Canelo doing less as opposed to Crawford doing more.
Right, but Crawford took advantage of the lanes that he had when Canelo didn't do much.
So what were your thoughts at the beginning? The first few rounds, in my opinion, they were a little bit slow.
Oh, it was always going to be a feel it out 3-4 rounds to start the fight, see what each guy was going to do, and then go from there. Unfortunately, didn't get into second gear, and it kind of stayed in that 3-4 first round mode.
Yeah, you know what? So I thought if Canelo was going to get off to a good lead, having been the busier fighter, not by a lot, but by a little bit, he was going to have to go in there and kind of humble or give Crawford something to think about.
Crawford did not get his respect, and that was pretty much the end of the fight, in my opinion. Once he couldn't dent him, once he wasn't coming forward to brawl with him, push him against the ropes, cards were written at that point.
I'm sorry. So you're saying when Canelo?
I'm saying once Crawford realized that Canelo wasn't going to hurt him,
Okay.
or wasn't going to throw combinations or push him around, it became much easier.
Right. So that's what I was thinking. I thought Canelo was going to go to the body, take advantage, maybe get inside, and you really use his experience in that weight class to his benefit. But it just didn't seem to happen. I don't know what his game plan was, but whatever it was, it doesn't seem like there was a plan B.
No, we know what the game plan was. Box, get the rounds, win the decision. Never went into second gear, never pressed the action. Threw what? A body shot here, a body shot there. How many combos can you name in that fight that he threw?
It seems like he wanted to throw them, he just couldn't get them off.
Or was he scared to get countered, perhaps? I don't know. It just seemed like, I think he thought he was just going to win a decision, no matter what happened in the fight, pretty much, unless Crawford dominated him.
So my thought process was this. I think Canelo is a great fighter, but one of his weak spots I've always kind of questioned is his corner. I don't think the Reynosos are as advanced as people might think. I'm no disrespect, but it just, maybe they've never needed a plan B. Maybe they've never needed to adapt, and when they did, they lost.
Well, I think they're thinking is we have Secretariat, so why do we need to change anything or make waves? And Canelo's set in his ways. It's not like he's going to change anything, no matter who his trainer is. No wrinkles, I don't think, are going to be added. Nothing's going to change, really. And then, let's be frank, they have a suspect reputation in certain other aspects of the game.
Right. Yeah. I just, I really was hoping for a little bit more savvy from Canelo. He does have like a bit of a obsessive compulsive attitude sometimes. Like he expects things to just work out, or that maybe that's
Right.
I don't know if that is, but that's the way it seems. That's the way it comes across. Like things usually work out.
Entitled.
Maybe. I just think he's so good sometimes that things just go that way. And then when things don't exactly go the way they should, sometimes he can kind of get over it. But when he comes up against a real barricade and he needs to get the jackhammer out and needs to start doing the old John Henry, he can't do it. But what do you say about the people who say Canelo got old overnight? That age finally came, even though Crawford's older than him, or they should say the activity finally got to him.
Have they watched the last 5 fights of Canelo? It's the same thing.
I don't think Canelo looked any different than any other time. I mean,
No.
so I think it was more Crawford. I don't think he got old at all. I think
No.
he did what he always does.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It didn't work out this
it
time.
just didn't work out. I actually think he had a huge problem with Crawford's length and his reach. I think he was shooting out jabs and straights, and it just he couldn't deal with it. Kind of like b-ball, but with less power.
Right,
Same result though.
right. And if Canelo's not going to take action and move forward, what can you do? Crawford's just going to stand there. Like if Canelo couldn't get inside and do anything, Crawford's reach was always going to be a problem. And once he didn't get respect, what's Canelo going to do? He wasn't going to up the pressure. He wasn't going to up the volume. He was going to go at that one pace the whole fight and expect to win. Crawford said, "No, no, I'm going to stand here. And you're not gonna bulldoze me, and we're gonna see who has the better skills." Crawford is the better fighter overall, in my opinion.
So yeah, I don't think it was Canelo getting old overnight or the activity showing. I think he's the same fighter. I think Crawford took to the weight, you know, pretty well, but he didn't do anything. What's the word?
He didn't try anything revolutionary. He stuck to the basics. A couple jabs here, a little body shot, little hit, stick and move a little bit. And again, it's just Canelo was not providing any resistance for Crawford to stand there and do what he needed to do.
Right. I was trying to say is that Crawford didn't do anything extraordinary, although his game plan, I think his preparation was extraordinary. And we didn't get to see it, but I believe Crawford probably had plan A, B, C, and maybe even D in his bag. But I don't think he needed it. I think he had plan A. It worked, and it continued to work. And I don't think he ever felt like he was hurt in danger. I don't think he felt like he was losing the rounds. He seemed pretty comfortable from beginning to end. No ring rust for him. He was the professional in there, and he did what he was trying to do. And I don't think he ever felt like it wasn't working in there.
No. Can you name one time he looked hurt
Not
or
one.
befuddled or buzzed or
I saw him in worse shape against Madrimov.
because Madrimov pressed him a little bit at
Right.
times, bullied him at times a little bit, pushed him against the ropes at times.
And Madrimov was using his feet.
And Madrimov's probably bigger than Canelo.
Maybe.
I mean, stronger probably, one punch wise and such. And if he couldn't move Crawford, then what was Canelo going to do? And as soon as he realized Canelo's game plan, then it was all in his hands.
Yeah, I think Madrimov had just more facets to his game on that night than Canelo had on this night. So it just wasn't Canelo's night. Your prediction of a knockout by Crawford didn't happen, but he did win the fight when he was the underdog. So good job on that. I thought it was going to be Canelo's night. It wasn't. So I was completely wrong on that one. I was going with the pragmatic choice, but sometimes, people shine, and Crawford sure did shine. He showed everybody why he is one of the best fighters in this era.
All right, with that being said, let's discuss that.
Go ahead.
Where do you think he falls in? Let's all time. Let's not even entertain that fact, but let's say 2000s.
In the 2000s,
Top 5. Probably.
Yeah. He's got a lot of accomplishments. I don't know if he's ever really had the competition to be able to shine. So I don't know how he would do if he had like murderer's row in front of him and how he dealt with all of them in a row. If he had a tough fight, he had time in between. And I know he has over 40 fights, which is good, but it's hard to judge. I don't have to look at that so much. I can see the skill. I think if he fought anybody in the last 25 years, it would be a tough fight. And I know what everybody's thinking. They're thinking Mayweather, they're thinking Pacquiao.
Well, what about the just 47s at the time? Let's say De La Hoya, Corte, Obakar, Trinidad, all these guys. Just stay 47.
You know what I think
fair against these guys.
I think Trinidad and De La Hoya would have had a very good shot against them. I probably would have leaned towards a 147 prime De La Hoya and a prime Trinidad over Crawford, only because maybe I've never had to see Crawford dig deep.
Right.
You can't punish someone for not digging deep because they've never had to. But
doesn't that say that you're not fighting guys that you've never had to?
Maybe it just means he wasn't out the night before partying in Tijuana like De La Hoya. I don't know. I don't know all I know is you can only base on what you see. I'm trying to make an educated guess here. And I just think that those would be some questionable ones. I don't know who I would go with on that, but Trinidad and De La Hoya, they were very good in their prime. And then having to go through people like Obakar, Corte, Fernando Vargas, which they all fought. They all fought. What about Corte? Did he fight Trinidad? I know Obakar did, right?
It's a fine question.
I
We need to
forget about
we need to
Corte did.
box rec that
Right.
after the
But either way, I know De La Hoya did fight I Corte because that was a great fight. But Trinidad fought Winky Wright, which I don't think De La Hoya ever did. So those are tough fights. Those are tough fighters.
my opinion is he might be able to hang with them, but he does not have the resume of any of them, in my opinion,
Right.
outside of these undisputed titles.
Right, and these mythical matchups and stuff like that. I guess they're fun to talk about, but I'm not about to get into an argument with anybody about it. To me, it's just the old saying that's all mental masturbation, and I'm just not.
Of course,
Yeah,
but the casuals these days, they see this fight and they're like, "Oh, he's the greatest of all time. He's the
right.
greatest of the 25 years,
And
et cetera, et cetera."
I'm not big on crowning anybody the greatest of any time. I think Mayweather was I might say he's probably one of the best or the best defensive fighter. As far as like the best fight, I don't know. He did a he had a really great career. He fought some tough guys. Good for him. But he didn't get to like a Trinidad. That would have been a good fight. But that if he fought De La Hoya, he could have fought Trinidad. He was kind of ahead of his weight, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That caliber. So there it is, the super middleweight undisputed champion of the world, Terrence Bud Crawford. We'll see what's on the horizon for him. I hear a lot of people saying a lot of things. Benavidez here, but you know what? If it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. And I don't know what these people have in their heads. I think he has options. I'm just not sure which options he's going to want to take on that.
Well, we might as well talk about that while we're here.
Go ahead.
I mean, let's start with Canelo. Who do you see? What are the options on the table? What could he do with this? He has a 2-fight deal, right? For
Two
God
left.
knows how many dollars.
I thought three more, maybe.
2 or 3, but
Yeah.
so he's got to fight someone for 2 fights. Just who could he fight
Well,
that
he
makes
could
any sense for him and Turkey and Dana and all these?
he could fight a lot of people. He could. It's like, but will he?
Right, but who is out there that would make for a decent event or a good? I mean,
Hamza Shiraz.
all right, I have Shiraz on the list here.
Yeah.
In the UK, it's got to be in the UK. Canelo's never fought in the UK.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean that would be.
Chris Eubank is on my list in the UK as well. If he
Yeah.
beats Conor Benn again,
It's a great. It's a comeback fight. I don't think he would have problems with that. And this is all at 168.
this would be either 160 or 168.
I don't think he goes to
Either guy
160.
kind of fluctuates.
I don't think he goes to 160. Hamza Shiraz is 168.
Eubank would be 160.
Good.
'cause he could-
I don't think he goes down to 160.
I
And
don't
if he
think
did go to 160, what's the point? If you're not fighting Janabek,
Right.
why are you going down
Right.
there? And I don't think Janabek's the right fight for him right now. I'm not saying either, but I just don't think it's the right fight for him.
No, not a guy that's going to come beat your ass.
No, Janabek has stuff to prove. He wants to, and even if like he's making a mistake, if Janabek's making the mistake, it's gonna be a dogfight for him. He doesn't care.
Or does he take on another 2 William Skulls and just call it a day?
I think I see that happening more so than anything. He's gonna get paid no matter what. So I don't know. I don't know what's what he's thinking. I don't know what's even realistic at this point for him. As far as Bud, what do you think?
He's in a tough spot. 160 would be the best call to go to 160 and win a belt.
Yeah, he could go down to
Go
160.
undisputed. Go-
I would. I think him and Janabek would be a good one, and then he
Does
could.
Does he take that risk after making 10 million?
I don't know.
That's the
And I'm
question.
telling you, I don't think Bud Crawford and Janabek produce the amount of money that he maybe is thinking now.
But that's the question. Does he demand another 10 mil? Does he? What is Turkey going to offer him? 'Cause he's not a ticket. He's not really a ticket seller. He's the B side here. So let's
Right.
be honest. Now I was doing a little research on the champs at 160. Arislandi Lara has a belt at 160.
Right.
Janabek has a belt, and
He has
Carlos
2 belts.
Carlos Adames
Yeah.
has a belt.
I can see Carlos Adames, but does he want to go? I don't know how hard it is for him to make weight. Does he want to go down 8 pounds? I mean, Adames could come up to 168 just to fight him, I don't know. Or you know what? I read something online, and I don't even know how true it is that did they already strip Bud of one of his belts?
It's so hard to tell
Yeah.
online because ESPN didn't even have their rankings updated after the fight,
Right.
after this fight yet.
So
But Crawford could also fight Eubank in England.
he could. Yeah, I mean,
Shiraz in England. I mean, shoot.
well, I don't know though. We'll leave that. I'll leave that business up to the businessmen and the Swiss bankers over there, and they can decide what they want to do with that. I mean, there are options. Just are they going to take any decent ones? I don't know. And if they want to charge pay-per-view money and keep it off Netflix or whatever they choose to do, that's on them. I'm not sure I would fork out some cash for some of these jobbers.
No, but these England fights, I would tune in. You know, the England, they put
Right.
on some shows.
Yeah, no, yeah. If it's something like that, that's a little bit it's a little bit better. I like Hamza Shiraz. I think he's a real fighter. I think at 168 he has chances. And that's probably the only fight I'm thinking like, ooh, I'm not sure. I think Eubank he wins. I think Canelo wins Eubank. I wouldn't be too worried about it. As far as like I would feel secure in a pick like that. But as Hamza Shiraz is the only one that I'm thinking like, I think
But he's not seasoned. He's only what 22-0, I
yeah.
believe.
No, he's not, but I think at 168 he's got a better shot than anybody. The way what he did to Berlanga, that was sweet. Just cleaned him up.
Yeah, I mean, there's a side story there. He whooped Berlanga. Canelo
Couldn't. Yeah.
tap dance his way to a victory.
Right. So we'll see what happens with that. We'll see what's up in their futures. Let's talk about the undercard real quick. The first one, Bochuk
Chuck Adams,
Bochuk
2,
Adams, right?
Revenge of the rematches.
And it was Brandon Adams winning again, a unanimous decision this time.
And no,
Was it a unanimous split?
I believe so. It
Okay,
should have been, whether it was or not. It should have
right.
dominated him.
So
Bo-
Brandon Adams.
Yeah, Bohachuk looked like he was underwater.
He did. He looked slow, and it didn't look like the same guy that gave Virgil Ortiz fits in that ring.
No,
I was going Bochuk all the way, thinking like, man, anybody that could do that to Virgil Ortiz, he dropped Virgil twice. A lot of it was off. He was off balance, but still, he did. He made that happen, or hit him when he was off balance. And I didn't see that coming from. I didn't think Bochuk was gonna look so. So it's not gonna be. He looked
no
like he was
tread on the
efforting.
tires. Yeah, he
Right.
wanted to do things, but the body just wasn't doing it for him.
Right. So
No controversy this time.
no,
No,
that
no.
I saw what happened, and Adams looked pretty good. I thought he looked all right. So
He looked yoked.
yeah,
At 150.
he did. The body came through on that one. So and then after that, was it in Billy first or was that or
Yes,
Walsh?
they put the co-main event as the undercard fight.
Right. So it was for the WBC interim 10-round fight, which I don't understand. So it's an interim fight for a WBC belt that was actually on the line with Crawford and Canelo, but it was 10 rounds. You know what? I don't know the rules anymore because they seem to be making them up as they go now. You know?
Yeah, and the problem with that is you got people watching Netflix who don't know better.
Right.
They don't know it's supposed to be a 12-round fight. How was it a 10? Do we have any clarification why it was a 10-round fight?
No, and
It
that's
wasn't time, obviously, because the thing took 6 hours.
that's the thing. I was thinking that I was like, maybe I don't know something. Maybe I'm out of the loop. But I'm like, oh, why would it be? I've seen plenty of interim fights, plenty of eliminators.
I know 12 rounds, right?
And I don't understand why this wasn't. I don't think anybody would have minded if that thing went 2 more rounds.
Oh, no.
Because Lester Martinez and Billy, they came to work in there. They packed their lunch and they went to work in there. All right. The only thing missing was the phone booth because
I
they
was
were
gonna
just
say, classic
going at
phone
it.
booth fight. I was
Right.
gonna say,
Any,
man,
anybody that doesn't know what that is, man, there used to be these things encased in glass called phone booths.
had to put quarters in them.
Right. And yeah, they were
No
there.
no tap. Your
Yeah.
phone.
They were there and they came to fight. It was exciting. I can't believe neither went down. That's the only thing missing. I can't believe it though. I can't believe that neither went down.
Just nonstop, 10 rounds, just inside fighting. No one took a back seat or a back step.
Right.
It was fun.
Yeah, they both went forward and they ended up with a draw.
Split draw, I believe, on the cards, which means rematch has to be in the cards next, right?
Yeah, I think people want to see it. I think they'll get a decent offer from somebody. But yeah, I can't wait to see that again, and we'll see who can who can take over in round 13.
Right.
Or actually, no, not round 13,
Round
11 because it was a 10. Yeah, see, it should have been 12. Maybe next time it'll be 12.
Yeah, and the winner of that fight should progress to some sort of unification or a real title shot after that.
Right.
They've earned it.
Yeah. So hopefully, and Billy as the interim champion, if he wins or draws again, he'll get a shot at Crawford or whoever's a belt holder or another champion by that time. We could have thrown his name in there, but I think he has a little bit of unfinished business with Lester Martinez. And why wouldn't you want to do that again? Because it was it's a good fight.
Yeah, let's see it.
And
It's
the
the kind of fight that would be a main event on an HBO After Dark or Showbox movie. Do a main event if we had those old style cards
right.
going on.
Right, it could have been championship boxing, just because it is for WBC. Yeah, it is a style of boxing after dark, but it could have been either or. These days, I'll be surprised if it's not pay per view.
Nice.
So we'll see. And then the two young guys,
Oh,
Fernando Vargas Jr. versus Callum Walsh.
what a disappointment of a fight. Jeez Louise. Neither guy did jack shit of all.
I didn't think it was that bad.
What? One guy did less and what was it? What's the phrase? One guy did little and
Little,
one guy did less or
yeah.
whatever it is. Jeez Louise, man. Neither guy wanted to press the action. Vargas looks like a rank amateur, I'm sorry. Not that Walsh looks like a world beater either, but he thought he was just going to go in there and be cutesy and dance around and pot shot him and win, and it just didn't work out. And it was a bad fight, in my opinion.
Right. I thought Vargas was going to bring some flash, and I thought Callum was going to box, and we were going to see maybe a boxer versus puncher type thing going on. I wasn't disappointed with Vargas so much. He could have pressed it a little bit more, but the fact that Walsh wasn't really pressing it, maybe he thought he had a little bit of a chance to edge, but he was clearly losing. But it wasn't in spectacular fashion at all. I think Callum Walsh, um, he's a good boxer, but if he wants to be a prize fighter, he's got to learn to get on the gas, and he needs to realize that this is a business, and people they want to see some blood, and they want to see people digging deep.
And how about some basics like hands down, super low, winging punches, trying to be spectacular with a one punch knockout? Just wasn't working for him. And
Right,
Vargas wasn't doing anything to bring the fight either. It was just kind of meh, in my opinion.
right. I didn't think the card was that bad, but Walsh, he's a good boxer, but he might need to step it up a little bit and shows a little bit more pizzazz to his game. Vargas, I mean, I'll watch him again. I think he boxes about as well as he could. I think he fought about as well as he could against someone of that caliber. Maybe in a few years they'll do it again and it'll be a little bit better.
Few years.
They're still young.
Man's 28.
28, couple years, man, like 3 years. He'll be 31.
He'll be
Not bad at all.
He'll be retired by then.
He'll be all right. And then you know what? Then he has his brothers, and maybe they come and
Yeah, I'd rather see the brother, Brandon
Emiliano, yeah.
keep Fernando off the sideline.
But we'll see what happens with them. But all in all, that was the card from Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium. Canelo versus Crawford. Brian, what did you think about the promotion? This was the I'm not sure if it was the first card. It's not the first card for Riyadh's season, but you know what? I saw a lot of shirts and labels. It said Zuffa Boxing. I didn't see any, but it was TKO box. I don't know who was actually doing this fight other than Riyadh season for sure. They're associated, but I don't know exactly who was in charge here other than like Dana and Turkey. More so Turkey.
It's going to be a research project to see who was actually the promoter, who was the TV packager, I
Right.
guess you would say. So we don't really know. It's kind of I think it's a work in progress with the Zuffa especially.
Yeah. So
I think TKO and Turkey were involved, but I don't know if Zuffa Boxing was off the ground and actually promoting this.
I'm not sure because I saw shirts that said Zuffa Boxing, and I'm like, is this part? Is this? And then I think I said that Dana White and Zuffa were associated or were promoting Callum Walsh, but no, his promoter is Triple G's promoter, Tom Loeffler. It says he has associations to Zuffa Boxing or to Dana White, or like he's pushed. Strange things. So I'm not exactly sure who was doing this, but either way, let's talk about the production. What did you think about the production?
Well, I mean, 70,000, like we said, sellout.
Right.
It looked great. Stadium looked great. Lights looked great. Cameras were looking great. Everything about the actual production was excellent.
I agree. I liked it. I thought it looked clean.
Very
It looked
clean.
really good in high definition.
Right.
I think people were the way they were, the dress and all that stuff, and the lights. It looked really nice. It kind of looked like HBO back in the day,
Yeah.
in the prime, when HD was kind of coming out and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
it was a Prime Vegas fight times 3,
Right.
basically.
Look great. Now let's get into some of the announcers and the commentary real quick. Mario Lopez was good.
The good, the bad, and the
I
ugly.
like Mario Lopez.
Mario's great.
Yeah,
Great host. Knows boxing too, which is great.
right.
Not some, suit up there. Kriegel, no thanks. Max Kellerman, please get him out of there. So annoying. Got to have his narrative every fight. Got to have 2 or 3 of his catchphrases or name a 50s fighter and blah 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 blah. Just like call the fight, bring a little insight,
Right.
and go from there. Don't dominate it and just talk without saying anything. It's so annoying. I cannot stand Max Kellerman. Sorry.
Yeah. He looked like he was job interviewing
Yeah.
in the build-up and on that day. And it wasn't the Max Kellerman of HBO.
And even then, I
Less
didn't
is
like
more,
him, but
man.
I could take him back then. Now it's just no thanks.
I thought he would be better next to Andre Ward.
No,
Uh,
Andre Ward's great. I
yeah.
like Andre Ward.
I thought he'd be better next to Andre Ward. Like it would kind of, but no, I think Andre Ward was getting a little short with
No,
him.
yeah, of course. Because Andre Ward's trying to call some insights from his boxing days, and Max is just yapping about some fight 30 years ago that
Right.
whatever.
I like Andre Ward's commentary. I've always liked it.
And we're no Andre Ward lover
No,
as a
no,
fighter
right,
or a personality, but as
right.
a commentator, excellent.
He was excellent. You know who else was like that for me? Actually, probably two. I was never the biggest fan of Antonio Tarver. I thought he was a great
Oh,
commentator. He was great.
he's very good.
Right.
Very good.
Another one I couldn't stand. Well, not I couldn't stand, but I wasn't a big Paulie Malignaggi fan, but I like the energy or the emotion behind
Yeah,
it. You can tell he's into it.
He likes the fights.
Right.
He's liking what he's watching. And this, I don't know if you've seen it on Pro Box.
I have. I like it. I like it when he gives his opinions, and I like it when he goes off the hinges. Either both. I like them both.
Either way, it's entertaining.
Yeah, I think the things that made me not like him as a fighter, when that was back then, it was completely different back then. Now I kind of I look for that more. All the shenanigans he did, or kind of like the character he did, I look for that now more so than I did back then. I think back then I was just strictly like, oh, boxers got to be like this, and more in the classical sense. But I like him. Who else was commentating? Oh, John Anik. You don't like John Anik. You don't like anybody, man.
I like Andre Ward. We've established that. No, John Anik. Stick to MMA. Just go to UFC.
He
please.
didn't do anything. What did he do? He called the fight.
It's like,
He's got a good voice.
he's good at the actual announcing of things. But something to me is annoying. I gotta put a finger on it. I'm not sure what it is.
I don't think you like
He
people,
just-
man.
He just annoys me.
I didn't think it was bad. I like John Anik. I think he brought himself down a little bit because I think the UFC is more high octane, and I think he brought it down and made it just a little bit. I won't say the word classy, but he brought it down a little bit to match boxing. Plus, it's not giving him the same fuel that UFC does. But I think he handled himself well in UFC, and I think he brought it down to the right to the right volume for the boxing. I think he was great. Good job. I mean, I'm like, people are saying like he's the best ever. I'm like, well, I like Jim Lampley, but Jim Lampley in his heyday was
He's
not to be messed with.
He's barely the best ever in UFC.
I
He's better than Mike Goldberg. I'll give him that.
I've liked all the UFC commentators. I think they're all pretty good. But I do like John Anik. I thought he did a good job.
I don't dislike him. He's not for me.
Okay.
He's
So
good at his job.
what else did we have? Is the time. That's it. We'll
Oh.
finish with the time.
Turkey, man. Get a watch, brother.
Right.
Jeez. This is not the first card that this has happened. This is what, 3, 4,
It
5 cards
keeps
now.
happening. I
How?
don't understand why.
The blueprint was printed in the 90s and the 80s.
Right.
You put a 6-rounder, 8-rounder on, you put a 10-rounder and two 10-rounders, whatever, and then the main event.
Right. You don't have to have the next fight loaded, in the green room or in the dugout right there waiting to go. But geez, man, like let's go.
But 45 minutes, 30 minutes between fights, 40 minutes between fights. They used to have walkout bouts where a 4-rounder would come out there just to get in the ring.
Right.
People were there hanging out.
You know what? Why don't if you're gonna have time in between, why don't you just put in a couple of guys on a 4-rounder like that? Why not?
or
you know,
or show an
televise
old
it or not.
or show an old barn burner fight for a couple rounds.
Yeah.
Show a I don't know what promote you have to pay for some of that stuff, but put a package together with some exciting fights that happened, or maybe a package of the undercard. Maybe there was a couple, 2, 3 good fights there you could re-show
Right.
or put the highlights on.
I didn't know that Terrence Crawford is a Tool fan. That was a bit surprising.
What it was,
I don't
th-
I don't know if he's a Tool fan or not. I just know they were there.
but why? Why? What was that?
I don't know.
That
I
just
mean,
came out of nowhere.
if that was a Crawford, if he wanted that, okay. Oh, you know what I do want to talk about? Okay, well, we'll get over that. No disrespect to Tool, but maybe Crawford does. He wanted you there.
But just one point.
Go ahead.
We're talking about Dana White Zuffa boxing. We're talking about
Yeah.
this. UFC has the best way to do it.
Oh, they do it
8
perfect
minutes
every
between
time.
10 minutes between a fight. Next fight, next fight, next fight.
Oh no, yeah. Sometimes I'm like, can you guys slow down a bit? I'm trying to make some nachos.
Yeah.
Like
Or
I
they'll re-show a fight
yeah.
from the undercard.
Right.
Like they have the blueprint down, and Turkey can't figure this out.
Yeah,
And it's Netflix, so it's not like 100 commercials. There's not like 100 ads you have to show
right.
like a pay-per-view or things like that. It just makes no sense.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
I know Dana has a lot of haters out there, but you know what? Let him get the wheel a little bit, man. If he's there, let him handle it a little bit because it's UFC runs great, man.
It's like a well-oiled machine every time.
Right.
It's not one card's good, but one card's bad. It's all
Yeah.
formulaic to say.
And these are West Coasters saying this. I can't imagine if I was on the East Coast. I would. You'd have to get up at 3 in the afternoon just to be able to see these fights.
I mean, how many Twitter people said, "Oh, I'll watch it in the morning.
Right.
I'll get up later."
That's terrible. You shouldn't have to do that.
Oh.
And then trying not to see what happened in that fight. But no way. I can't even. I couldn't see Noya in a way. I couldn't watch the fight before I knew what happened because there was just no way of getting around it. I'm like, I gotta find the fight without seeing the result. Now I couldn't do it. So I knew who won, and I hate that.
So you put on a great event, Netflix hosts it great, and then you're gonna put off fans who went to bed at 10 p.m. and
right.
and aren't gonna go back and watch it.
Right. So I know that this is gonna hit a nerve. It hits a nerve with me. I can kind of see why they're not doing this. I don't want to speculate, but national anthems.
But I'm so glad you brought it up. Where was the Mexican national anthem and the American national anthem?
Well, yeah, you have an American and a Mexican on Mexican Independence Day.
But what card have you ever not seen the national anthems?
The Riyadh season ones, unless they're maybe in Saudi.
Okay, I mean that's cultural things and country things.
Is that why they're? Do you think that's why they're not doing it? Or do you? Okay, look. If Crawford didn't want it, if Canelo didn't want it, then I would be like, cool. We're not having any of them. But I just don't see that Canelo would have an objection to the Mexican national anthem. I don't see Crawford having an objection to the American national anthem.
And the fight was in Las Vegas.
And the fight was in Las Vegas.
It wasn't in Saudi Arabia.
But where's the money coming from?
But still, like name a big fight where there was no national anthems.
I mean, as of late on the Riyadh season, I think if it's
just in general, I mean, let's say previous to 5 years ago, every fight, it was one of the big things.
Yeah,
people got into it. They got the mariachis. You got everyone, chanting along, singing along.
Right.
It was mind-boggling how it wasn't done. But you have Tool and what was the other one?
It was a mariachi band, I think. Was it my? I don't remember. But
I mean, it's almost offensive to me in a little bit of a way. Like, come on.
I think they should have had them. I think it gets people fired up. I think it would have got Canelo fired up. Maybe maybe it would have got some juices flowing in that first round. Wouldn't have been so, so stale.
Tepid.
Yeah. So if anybody, you know what, reach out, comment somewhere, tell them if you want national anthem, because I wanted to hear the Mexican national anthem. I wanted to hear the American national anthem. I want to hear them both. I want to see the singers there. That's one thing from the past that seems the consensus is everybody loves it, but they don't do it anymore. And I have a feeling that maybe because the money's coming from overseas, they're not welcoming on that. You know what? If it's that big a deal, go ahead. I don't care where you're from. If you're fighting in a main event, in a major fight, I don't care where you're from. You could be from Germany, you can be from Israel, you could be from
Oh,
Australia. I don't care where. That's what I'm saying. I don't care where you're from. You could have all kinds of drama going on and whatever. If you're in the main event and you want your national anthem, you should get it.
no objection to
Yeah,
that whatsoever.
I don't understand how many national anthems have I heard and from countries I've never even heard of when I was young because I heard it in boxing. Yeah,
We fell in love with the Filipino national anthem
yeah,
from Manny Pacquiao.
right. So let's bring those back. Come on, let's bring those back. And I'd love to see some national anthems. And I don't care where you're from, whatever country you're from.
So, plus, in the back in the day, used to push like younger artists, or used to push like
Yeah,
used to have like an up and coming singer do it, or some sort
Mario
of
Lopez's
band.
wife,
Yeah,
she's
exactly.
done it.
Right. It
You
doesn't
know,
have to be stale and boring. Like,
yeah, just get anybody.
right.
Yeah, so hopefully they take care of that. Hopefully someone says this loud enough that they can hear it. But that's something I did miss, and hopefully they revisit that sometime later. All right. When we come back, we will be going over Estilo 520, the amateur show in Tucson, over this past weekend on September 20th. Okay, so we're back, and I have the results for you from the Estilo 520 show this past weekend in Tucson, Arizona. It was Boxing Inc. East putting on a great show. If you were there, for people who weren't there, I have the results here, brought to you by LBC 48. We have 21 bouts altogether. In the first bout, it was Dazia Green from Green Bros Boxing versus Adamir Avalos from Old School, and Adamir Avalos was victorious in that bout. The next one was William Hernandez Hidalgo's Boxing versus Dominic Luna Robles Boxing, and William Hernandez was victorious in that bout. Bout number 3 was Utel Cervantes Reyes Boxing versus Damian Ochoa, who was unattached, and Utel Cervantes was victorious in that bout. The fourth bout was Natalie Fernandez, unattached, who went up against Gabrielle Leyva from Boxing Inc., and Gabrielle Leyva was victorious in that bout. Bout number 5 was Jordan Garcia, unattached, versus Cody Davis, Robles Boxing, and Jordan Garcia was victorious. Bout number 6, Amari Miranda, Boxing Inc. East, versus Isaiah Green, Green Bros Boxing, and Isaiah Green was victorious. Bout number 7, Alexis Ibarra, unattached, versus Ezekiel Gavan, unattached, and Alexis Ibarra was victorious in that bout. Bout number 8, Joseph Hernandez, AZ Boxing Fitness, versus Roman Downing, Mendez Boxing, and Joseph Hernandez was victorious. Bout number 9, Eduardo Chavez, AZ Boxing Fitness versus Yahir Lopez, Lanes Boxing, or Lanes Boxing, I'm not sure, Lanes, and Yahir Lopez was victorious. About 10, Irving Guerrero, Boxing Fit versus Uzziah Green, Green Bros Boxing, and Uzziah Green was victorious in that one. About 11, Brielle Machado, Boxing Inc. East versus Emily Tischler, Robles Boxing, and Brielle Machado was victorious in that one. Bout number 12, Nathan Cardenas, Reyes Boxing versus Marcellus Fuentes, Mendez Boxing, and Marcellus Fuentes was victorious in that bout. Bout number 13, Hector Sanchez, Reyes Boxing versus Omar Mendez, Boxing Fit, and Hector Sanchez was victorious. Bout 14, Jackson Scott, Boxing Inc. East versus Jesus Peralta, Gills Boxing, and Jackson Scott was victorious. Bout 15, Jaime Benegas, Roseville Boxing Academy versus Matthew Alba, Boxing Fit, and Jaime Venegas was victorious in that bout. Bout 16, Mateo Satarain, Hidalgo's Boxing versus Elijah Lozano, Strong Enough Boxing, and Mateo Satarain was victorious. Bout 17, Albert Hernandez, Hidalgo's Boxing versus Fahad Jamil, New Corner, and Albert Hernandez was victorious. Bout 18, Jesus Armenta, Tucson Southwest versus Adrian Ruiz, Reyes Boxing Academy, and Jesus Armenta was victorious in that bout. Bout 19, Ethan Parker, Boxing Inc. East versus Jesus Toledo, Ramos Boxing Academy, and Ethan Parker was victorious. Bout 20, Joshua Hawkins, Boxing Inc. East versus Connor Swally, Madison Boxing Gym, and Joshua Hawkins was victorious. Bout 21, the final bout, Diego Villascusa, Tucson Southwest versus Jorge Chaparro, Gills Boxing, and Diego Villascusa was victorious. So congratulations to all those amateurs who came out for that show and put on a great showing down at Boxing Inc. East. It was a really great show, and it was a lot of fun to put on. So congratulations to them, and congratulations to Boxing Inc. East. Their team took home the team trophy. There's another show coming up on the 27th, Phoenix, Arizona. I'll get you I'll get details on that show. All right, that's it for us this week on the Ranch Boxing Podcast. Thanks again to Brian Battaglia for joining us and giving us his opinion and his review on Canelo Crawford. We'll try to get with you again and bring some upcoming fights. And if you have any suggestions on what you think this podcast might be called, go ahead and leave it in the comments and give us your opinion. All right, good night. Thanks, everybody.